All right, Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 7. Looks like this is going to be a big battle episode. So, let's see what we got. Okay, we're starting with Celebrimbor in a Rayon, and oh, look, they're actually showing us some sort of ring-making process for once. Oh, wait, that was like the ninth one of the rings, and he hasn't been overrun with orcs? That was quick. Just really pulled those out of your butt, huh? Oh, wait, why doesn't the men ring get like gems and shit? And why do we just get like plain silver bands? Man, racist elves putting in no work for us lowly mortals. Celebrimbor then picks up the new hammer, notices, oh no, one of the red gems is missing. Then goes onto the floor to look for it and sees a mouse. When he gets back up, he's shocked to see, oh, his reflection in the mirror because he looks all gray and dirty and not angelic elf-like. Sauron enters and asks if he has fallen and can't get up, and then Celebrimbor looks back at the mirror and his face is clean and normal, what he thinks again. And the hammer is no longer missing a gem. Sauron asks if he's having another one of his episodes, and Celebrimbor goes, no, he feels great about how focused he's been on his craft the last couple of weeks. Oh, look, they finally got some sort of time for the timeline. Wait, has it been a couple weeks since he agreed to make the 9 rings? Or since they started with the 7? Has it been a week since the invasion started? You know what? The timeline is so fucked at this point, it doesn't even matter. Because you know what? Celebrimbor then just drops the fact that the rings are nearly complete and that he needs a couple days to perfect them. Sauron says that will be a sad moment because it means their time together will end, and then leaves. I guess he doesn't care about it taking multiple days, even though Eregion is still currently under attack. Okay, so this going mad and trickery by Sauron doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Is he just toying with him at this point with like the jewels missing stuff? Is that the power slipping and Celebrimbor realizing something is wrong, or is it just the audience can see him going crazy? Because it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot in terms of Sauron getting what he wants. Yeah, Celebrimbor isn't panicking about the attack because he doesn't know about it, but he isn't exactly rushing to finish these. How does Sauron know the Forge Tower won't be destroyed by the flaming boulders? Him making the rings during a siege of the town is just stupid. Okay, cut to Adar, who's watching the catapults do their thing, and then we get a shot of the sun being blocked out. He then says it is time, implying time to attack on foot since the sun is blacked out, and that won't irritate his orc babies. I mean, I guess fire smoke has been known to shade the sun, but I think it would have to be much more than what is shown. Back to Region, and Sauron tells the soldiers that Celebrimbor does not permit a defense, and that the river will be enough in terms of protection. There are some questions and objections to this, and Sauron goes, yeah, I know, that's dumb, right? Fuck that guy. We're not gonna listen to him. I'm in control now. Look at me, the savior, and we're gonna get all the soldiers ready to fight. But then they hear that the siege machine trebuchet things are no longer firing. They go to check it out and witness the dumbest yet lucky military tactic that Tolkien, the actual war veteran, would spin in his grave over. The orcs turn their trebuchets and launch boulders at a mountainside in order to make bigger boulders that just so happen to fall into the river and dam it. That's not how damming works. I don't know about you, but when I picture people damming a river, I think they just throw a bunch of rocks in there and hope that it perfectly lines up across the river in an almost watertight fashion. Well, after this retarded move, the elves prepare for a ground assault, and Arondir arrives to see the river going down. Oh, look, Celebrimbor is making the rings for men more fancy. Oh, look at him. And the rat is back. Okay. Now Celebrimbor is marking a candle, I guess, to see how much time passes. He must be starting to figure out something is up. Cut to Khazad-dûm, and the king is being informed that the elves are under attack. Okay. So Region and Khazad-dûm have to be like a mile apart at this point. How the fuck did a letter get there so fast? And how was it not intercepted by Adar and the orcs when they want to make sure no one escapes or passes messages along to get help. Okay, so with this impossible to obtain information, King Durin goes, "Oh man, the elves do need help," and is clearly thinking about this plan to upcharge them on Mithril during a time of crisis thing. And then he instructs the security guy, I can't remember the name of, take back the mine that Durin's son is guarding. Secretary Dwarf with a group of miners go to Durin's son and have a fake Mexican standoff because seconds after Secretary Dwarf and the others arrive, they drop their axes and go, "You're right about the king. The ring is evil and we stand with you. Also, there's conveniently an elf outside that wants to talk to you because fuck distances and time. By the way, we have to sneak him in here because he has been banned by all the dwarf kingdoms." And then Durin's son has a look like, "Oh man, you mean Elrond?" Because we can't just say his name. We have to keep the bored audience in suspense, even though everyone knows it's going to be Elrond. Cut to Durin's son entering his room, and oh look, it's Elrond. The lovers are back and ready to give each other the meat and give it raw. Durin and Elrond do a who has had it worse since we last saw each other competition, and then Elrond asks Durin for his axe. Meanwhile, the orcs start the charge on Eregion, and the actual battle begins. Archers are shooting orcs, and this battering ram thing is moving closer. Meanwhile, Sauron asks Celebrimbor how the rings are coming along. The Celebrimbor has discovered that he seems to be in some sort of time loop. The mouse keeps appearing and doing the same actions. The embers of the fire never dies, and the candle never gets smaller. Celebrimbor has finally figured out that Anatar is no messenger of the Valar, and Sauron goes, "You asked for this, and I'm keeping back the storm of darkness, so give me my 9 rings." Celebrimbor then throws the special hammer thing at him, and Sauron dodges to have the hammer break a window, and now Celebrimbor can hear the battle going on outside. He goes outside of the balcony, sees the carnage of the battle, and the veil is truly broken. Wait, the forge did get struck by, like, rubble and is falling apart. Oh, everything's burnt. How the fuck was Celebrimbor alive? Wait, so this wasn't just an illusion. He was literally trapped him in, like, a time loop outside of reality and harm? Sauron can do that now? Why wouldn't he have done this during the fucking movies? What the fuck is going on? Now Celebrimbor is crying at the carnage and then discovers that the mithril Sauron gave him is actually Sauron's blood? I guess the writers are saying that this is why they corrupt man into ring wraiths. They are extra powerful thanks to Sauron blood. Hey, do you want to rule Middle-earth, but its pesky inhabitants just won't let you? Well, now introducing Sauron blood. Just mix it with a little molten silver and make it in a ring, and then give it to all the lords of man. Just make sure not to tell them you're Satan. Well, Celebrimbor finally finds out that he's Sauron because of all this bullshit, and then Sauron lets Celebrimbor leave the forge and go outside for some reason. He still doesn't know the state of the rings, but he just lets them leave. Celebrimbor tries to tell Modernia about Sauron, but doesn't say the name Sauron. He just goes, "Oh, he deceived me, all of us, the mouse, don't you get it?" Because the writers need him to look crazy to the character who Sauron specifically told Celebrimbor has lost his mind to. Celebrimbor tells guards to take Sauron, who just happened to walk up at that moment, and he finally says the name Sauron. They think he lost his mind, and that Anatar is not Sauron, and is in fact the only one helping them. Virginia goes to grab Celebrimbor, and he says, "Don't touch me." You then see Sauron move his hand, and this makes it look like Celebrimbor pushes Modernia to her death, and she's killed by an orc. How sad. That character I totally cared about and loved, and oh, she can't fuck Sauron now because she looks like Galadriel or whatever the fuck that scene was. Sauron then, very much within earshot of the guards, tells Celebrimbor to finish the 9 rings and he will spare the city. But wait, there are horns as another army arrives, and it's the elves! Hey, at least they have horses this time to help explain the fast travel. Wait, they were just charging into battle, and they did the horn and everything. Now they're paused in formation and waiting to charge. I guess they wanted to have this little moment where you see that Gil-galad is there, because I guess Elrond convinced him not to go to Mordor. While they finally start charging at the orcs again, Adar shows that they have Galadriel hostage. So then Elrond stops the charge, because of course he does. The entirety of Middle-earth may be more important, but Galadriel is just, we love her. We can't let her die. She's supposed to make it all the way to the movies. Then we see Adar and Elrond talking in his tent. Why King Gil-galad isn't the one there doing the negotiations, I don't know. Adar wants the ring Galadriel gave him in exchange for her and for them to leave so he can take care of Sauron. Elrond plays the orcs just want to live peacefully and not die for this card to all the orcs that are in earshot, trying to sow the seeds of deceit. I guess everyone in this world knows that orcs just aren't that into fighting. God forbid they just be bloodthirsty evil creatures of darkness. No, they must be misunderstood. Elrond refuses the offer and goes to bid Galadriel farewell, and they kiss? What the fuck is with everyone simping over this bitch? She's supposed to be married for one. I know they killed him off screen in season 1, but it's going to make him being alive again in the movies a little awkward. What is this shit? This moment was not earned at all. What the fuck was that? That was the most blatant, obvious slip her something I have ever seen. They even shot it in the fucking perspective of Adar. You should have just went, hey, what's up with that? I saw that. And what was with the thing that you took off your cloak before in clear view of everyone? That's it. Kill them all. And now Elrond and this lieutenant guy are just openly discussing battle plans while still in the orc camp. Elrond is going to hold them back for another day. I guess the siege has just been days long. And tells the lieutenant that Durin's son is rallying the troops of dwarves and they're going to be there to outflank the orcs. And then cut to Durin, who is still at Khazad-dûm, but don't worry, it only takes about 3 hours to walk to Eregion, so he's got time. Durin is giving a pretty decent little speech, to be honest, and while he's doing so, we see some glimpses of Sauron making Celebrimbor finish the rings, King Durin holding an axe, and D's Nuts and Secretary Dwarf being ready to probably fight the king, who will eventually just get past them because of the ring, and then unleash the Balrog for the dwarves' army to find after the Eregion battle. And cut to elves and dwarves fighting. No, not the horse! Oh, that pissed Elrond off. And he launches the orc with the trebuchet. Oh, this horse is the best actor. And that was the most emotionally impact scene so far. Oh, that wasn't a battering ram. That did that instead. Okay, then. Didn't do much to the wall. And now it's nighttime. Glug then just gives us an update about what happened off screen and waits for orders, suggesting retreat. Adar says no, and the orcs are not very happy. I guess they just want to go home. Oh man, look, Galadriel escaped, and she used the thing Elrond obviously gave her. Oh, look at her walking through the camp in a terrible disguise. Wouldn't she smell like an elf and immediately get found out? They very much set up that the orcs can smell elves. She then gets stuck seeing an orc funeral and Adar having an emotional moment, and then leaves, and I guess that finally makes her suspicious to some orcs. And then this one apparently can see not orc hair better than Adar and literally anyone else. But wait, they all die from arrows. Oh, who could have done that? Oh, hey, Arondir, I genuinely forgot you were a thing. Galadriel goes, thanks, man. Now let's go to Eregion using a secret entrance I conveniently know about. And Arondir goes, no, I'm here for Adar. Galadriel convinces him not to do it because he will probably die and she needs him for a diversity quota. Cut the Khazad-dûm. Secretary Dwarf goes, hey, your very old ring-roided up father got through all of us, and Diza said not to leave with the army. We need them in case the Balrog gets loose, and Durin now has to choose between his elf mistress and his wife in Mountain. And back to Eregion again, where Sauron goes, cheer up, buckaroo, to Celebrimbor. I'm gonna make the world great, trust me. Oh man, I hate seeing ye so sad and treated this way, the way Morgoth treated me. Look at me, I'm the sympathetic, misunderstood villain. Morgoth wanted to destroy the world, and I just want to perfect it. Celebrimbor goes, yeah, well, that's nice, but fuck you, you still tortured and tricked me. Sauron goes, no, you chose and wanted that. You're the architect of your own torture, all because you didn't want to make me my rings. You know, a child's reasoning. Celebrimbor goes, Wow, you are a great deceiver. You even deceived yourself. No, no, Celebrimbor. He's not a great deceiver. You're just a great idiot. Sauron goes finish making the rings and then leaves him alone for some reason. Celebrimbor then goes, fuck you, Sauron, and drops the rings into the fire. They're probably fine because we know man gets them eventually. We see some more fighting and exploding arrows, and then back to the forge, and yeah, the rings are fine. Apparently, they can't be destroyed by putting them back in the fire from which they are made, because Sauron blood. Oh, look, he touched a thing, and they're not even hot. Oh, remember that from Lord of the Rings? Oh, such better movies. Celebrimbor then frees himself from handcuffs, I guess he had on this entire time, by severing his thumb to be able to get his hand through. He escapes from the forge and gets blown off some stairs by a rock blast, and there he's found by soldiers. Tell him he's gonna be put right back into the forge by order of Anatar, the new Lord of Eregion. But good news! Galadriel arrives to save him and tell them that Celebrimbor is the Lord of Eregion. Celebrimbor then tells Galadriel about the rings of men, but not the rings of dwarves, and that he knew about Sauron from the beginning, but just denied it because he wanted to make rings or something in his vanity. Galadriel tells him to escape with the rings, and Celebrimbor goes, no, you must take them. I will delay Sauron. This is my city to fall with. Oh, and the soldiers just trust him again through the power of eavesdropping that they just now discovered is a thing. And not any of the other times they were within earshot of people. Celebrimbor gives a speech about how light will prevail over darkness, and then they go to slow down Sauron. Cut to Elrond trying to stop the breaching of the wall thing. The plan all depends on this Asian elf being able to fire an arrow. But she gets turned into a pincushion. But wait! Since she's a diverse female elf and not the pussy Sean Bean, she can survive this and still shoots a flame arrow, and it blows up the wall breach thing. Oh, no, there she goes. I guess it took one more arrow. Bye, elf lady I have no attachment to. Adar, seeing the siege machine break, decides to send in the troll from the beginning of the season. We are then with Sauron, who's looking for the rings. Celebrimbor enters going, bitch the gun, and tries to arrest him. While being read his rights, Sauron force chokes the lieutenant and makes all the guards kill themselves. He then kills the lieutenant easily. None of this is impressive. Everyone just moves slowly and goes, oh man, what sorcery is this? And we are back with the battle outside again. Oh man, that guy got squished good. This troll is fucking shit up and turning elves into CGI ragdolls. If only Galadriel was there to take him down in under 10 seconds like she easily did with that ice troll. Well, this troll uses orcs as a shield from arrows, and Glug does not like that. The troll then goes after Elrond, who is trying to break the siege machine. I guess it didn't break in the explosion. And wait, is this sword sparking on that rope? What the fuck kind of rope is that? Well, the rope does eventually break after Elrond gets flung away, but thankfully, because he's the main character, survives. The troll then gets hit by part of the machine snapping back at him, and then he throws a little tantrum. He just starts smacking the machine against the wall, with the wall looking like it will almost break. Arondir does some CGI parkour and pins one of the troll's hands down with a sword. Elrond then does the same with the other side, and Gilgalad comes in with a spear and stabs him, somewhere, and does the final blow. The troll laughs for some reason and then dies. I don't know how swords in mud and the strength of 2 elves bring the space of a troll. I guess it just did because the plot was done with him. I mean, hey, you once saw a troll in Lord of the Rings, and this had a troll, so yeah, isn't that about it? So cool. Adar finally decides to step in and attacks with the rest of the army. Oh, apparently it's now daytime. Wow, the sun rises fast. Elrond goes, the dwarves are coming, look! But it was just the lieutenant messenger guy who tells them that the dwarves are not coming. Durin chose his wife and the mountain. Elrond refuses to believe this, though, and they keep fighting. We see main characters do fighting things, and oh no, Adar stabs Arondir, but we don't see him die, so he's probably fine. The orcs finally breach the wall, and Elrond sees the battle in slow motion, coming to realize Durin won't come after all. Adar stands before him and takes the ring from Elrond, and the episode ends. Wait, what the fuck is this ending credits song? Turn that shit off. Good God, they really crammed a lot in this episode. How long did that siege take? Like a month? No talk about food or how they survived all the bombarding rocks. Celebrimbor was an illusion of the mind or whatever he said it was. Apparently that makes him non-corporeal and able to walk through rubble and not die to caving in ceilings or smoke inhalation. That's a powerful mind. And in terms of the battle, the fight choreography was lackluster. None of the weapons looked like they had any real weight to them. The powers of the flying boulders was inconsistent. The less I think about the fucking damn thing, the better. Fire doesn't work the way they think it was. And too bad Galadriel wasn't in the fight. The orcs would have had no chance. He would have taken them all down single-handedly. Elrond, who doesn't even like or trust the rings and even acknowledged that it would be dumb to bring them, did in fact bring them because the plot demanded Adar get one. And it looks like, once again, at the end of the season, we'll get some Balrog bullshit and that the elf and dwarf relations will be at an all-time low. I'm thankful we didn't have to sit through any non-Gandalf or Numenor stuff. There's enough bullshit here already. This was an action-packed bombshell after bombshell episode, yet I just couldn't keep myself from getting up and walking about to do literally anything else. It took me about 3 hours to watch this episode. The fight meant nothing to me, and the spectacle just wasn't that great. The bombshells were dumb and had no real weight to them. We know for the most part what's going to happen, but the how it happens they're trying to tell us is just so boring and lore-breaking and inconsistent. And if I try to figure out the goddamn timeline, I think I will actually pop a blood vessel in my eye. The setups are planted and then paid off minutes later, and it isn't clever or interesting, and they're just trying to do so much for these instant gratification TikTok low attention span generation we have nowadays that there's no real weight to those moments. It is all just rush, yet it takes so long because of the meaningless shots and fluff and looks. I'm so thankful there's only one episode left, so you know what? Please like and subscribe so you can just go ahead and see what I think when it comes out and get this shit finally done with, and then wait for 2 years to see the next season come out and do it all over again.